What if a ruler was so powerful, so dangerous to history itself, that after his death people tried to erase him completely, not just his legacy, but his name, his city, even his face, a king buried not by time but by intention. This is the story of Akhenaten, the forgotten pharaoh. He was born into power, raised inside one of the greatest civilizations the world has ever seen, a world built on tradition, structure, and absolute control. Every ruler before him followed the same path. But Akhenaten was not like the others. Before we go deeper into this story, make sure you subscribe, because what happened next changed an entire civilization and was almost erased forever. When Akhenaten rose to power, people expected stability. Instead, they got disruption. He began to distance himself from everything that came before him. Traditions were questioned, systems were challenged, and slowly the foundation of the old world began to crack. Then came the moment that changed everything. Akhenaten abandoned the traditional centers of power. He turned away from the past and chose the unknown. In the middle of the desert, he began building something entirely new. That place would become Amarna, a city unlike anything Egypt had ever seen. Open, bright, and completely different from the old world. It wasn't just a capital, it was a symbol, a message that the past no longer controlled the future. Akhenaten didn't just change where he ruled, he changed how he was seen. Instead of appearing perfect and untouchable, he appeared human, different, unusual, real, for the first time. A ruler didn't look like a symbol of perfection. He looked like someone who had changed everything. But change at this scale comes with consequences. As Akhenaten focused on his vision, other parts of his empire began to weaken. Connections faded, control slipped, and within his own land, people began to question everything. The further he moved away from tradition, the more isolated he became. The systems that once supported the throne were no longer there, and without them, power becomes fragile. Then, suddenly, Akhenaten was gone. No warning, no explanation, just silence. And what followed was not respect, it was destruction. The city of Amarna was abandoned, its streets emptied, its structures left to decay. His statues were destroyed, his legacy dismantled, and his name was removed from history itself. Everything he built was undone. The old systems returned. The old order was restored, and future generations made sure of one thing. Akhenaten would not be remembered, but history is never truly silent. Buried beneath sand and time, his story survived. Ruins, fragments, clues waiting to be found, and slowly the forgotten pharaoh returned. So, who was he? A visionary, ahead of his time, or a ruler who pushed too far? We may never know, but one thing is certain: very few rulers in history have been powerful enough to be erased completely, and even fewer have managed to come back.